there folks, Antar1011 here, and I am back to bring you a new PBR battle. My opponent today is a good friend of mine, MrNieli13. We've battled tons of times in the past, and here we're having a UU singles battle, Gen 4 obviously. I lead off with my Uxie, he leads off with an Aggron, and I go ahead and set up Stealth Rocks on the first turn, expecting him to do the same, because, I mean, it's an Aggron in the lead position. Instead, he goes for a Rock Polish, which I was totally not expecting. So now he's going to be faster than me, for what that's worth. My Uxie is not invested in speed, it's not a Scarfer or whatever. He goes ahead and uses a super effective Shadow Claw. Again, was not expecting that. It doesn't really do much to me because Uxie is a pretty defensive Pokemon to begin with, and mine has invested heavily in defense. So yeah, didn't really do much. I go ahead and U-turn out of there, not for the damage, obviously, but simply so I could get the free switch. So Uxie is called back, and I have a large choice of Pokemon to send out, and I'm going to go ahead and send out my Steelix because if he carries the Earthquake, it's going to hurt, but it's not going to hurt that much, and Earthquake from me is going to hurt him quite a bit. He's obviously going to predict that Earthquake and call back his Aggron, and in its place he's going to make an excellent prediction and send out his Swellow. Now I actually do carry Stone Edge on my set, and I really could have predicted that and gone for the Stone Edge, but I didn't want to over-predict because otherwise I really wasn't sure how I was going to deal with his Aggron. Anyway, he gets the burn with his Flame Orb, and he's going to go ahead and U-turn out of here, predicting the Stone Edge. Again, you know, my move is fairly obvious, but I just didn't want to over-predict this early in the battle. So his Swellow is called back, and he goes ahead and sends out Donphan, who's going to resist that, and in fact is going to be able to take any physical moves from my Steelix quite easily. So Stone Edge is going to hit, isn't going to do anything. I mean, teeny tiny bit of damage. I'm going to go ahead and call back Hatterack from the Steelix, and I'm going to go ahead and send out, I believe, yep, I send out Blastoise, nicknamed Maryland, Fear the Turtle! Anyway, he's going to go ahead and go for an Assurance here, predicting that I was going to switch into, switch into Rotom, who, that would have been super effective, still wouldn't have done that much, although Rotom is pretty frail. Anyway, I'm glad that I didn't fall for that bait. Anyway, he's going to switch out on this turn, is going to go ahead and send out Feraligatr, and I'm going to go ahead and use Ice Beam this turn, just thinking that it was the best move considering who he had left on his team, which I know because I wrote down the team preview and everything. Anyway, I get some awful freeze hacks, and so I'm going to go for the Water Spout here just to see how much damage it does. Yes, my Blastoise runs Water Spout. Is it a good idea? No. Is it awesome? Does it look awesome? That's why I use it, because it's just so cool to have Blastoise with Water Spout. But oh well. Anyway, he goes ahead and predicts my switch into Rotom as I wake up, or as he dethaws. He takes out my Rotom in a single hit. I very much doubt that crit mattered. And my little Tachikoma is taken out. So I consider who I can send out to deal with this Feraligatr. And I decide my Uxie should be able to handle it okay, since it's such a physical beast. Anyway, he's using Crunch, which I found quite interesting. I guess it's still super effective and whatnot. Does a lot more damage than I was expecting. In retrospect, it's quite obvious that he was banded, but I didn't realize it at the time, which is really sad. My Psychic does not do nearly as much damage as I was hoping it would do, and he's going to go ahead and punch me on this next turn for the KO. So bye-bye, Uxie. Really didn't do much in this battle except for set up Stealth Rocks and provide us free switch into Steelix a few turns ago, but that just kind of sucks. Anyway, at this point I just got to figure out who am I going to use to take him out. I go ahead and send out Arcanine, thinking that at this range of HP and extreme speed might be enough to KO. This is a Life Orb set, not a choice set, so that's excellent for me. It's not as bad for me that he switched. I go for the extreme speed, does not do anything, obviously. My guess is it did more in recoil to me than it did in damage to him. So I'm going to go ahead and call back my Arcanine, and I'm just really glad that he hasn't set up Stealth Rocks at this point, and I'm wondering actually why he didn't, because several of my Pokemon are weak to Stealth Rocks, and that would have been excellent for him to have those up, especially with my Arcanine switching in and out. He goes ahead and goes for the Rock Polish this turn, though. Goes for the Iron Head, I guess hoping to get a flinch, also maybe predicting that I would switch, I don't know. Iron Head really doesn't do anything to me, and very luckily I do not get the flinch. I go for the Earthquake, and that is going to take out his Aggron in one hit, thanks to the fact that it is 4x effective. Again, he could have switched into his Swallow. That would have been the obvious move, but I didn't want to overpredict, especially with Rock-type moves being only 2x effective? I think that's right. Anyway, he sends out his Toxicroak here, something that's kind of strange. I mean, Steelixes are so bulky, and he knows that I carry the Earthquake, so I'm like, what's going on here? It's a special Toxicroak, hits me with a super effective Focus Blast with a one-hit KO. My Steelix is taken out, and that is lame. Lame. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I go ahead and send my Arcanine back out at this point. I know that he has Anticipation. He's not actually weak to the Flare Blitz, but I figured that I would be faster, and I figured that Stab move would be a good move, and indeed I do manage to take him out, although I get a significant amount of recoil. Really, it probably would have been wise to do the stat calculations, or the damage calculations and everything, but whatever, I got the KO, that's all that matters. He goes ahead and switches out his Donphan here, which I was really expecting to be a Rapid Spinner. Get rid of those rocks, it would have helped him out considerably. I go ahead and send Marilyn back out. He goes ahead and Earthquakes. Both of my Pokemon that can set up Stealth Rocks are now KO'd. This would be the perfect time for him to Rapid Spin, and the fact that he doesn't indicates to me that he probably doesn't have it. So anyway, he's going to switch out at this point, knowing that a Water Spout or an Ice Beam is going to take him out if he stays in. Goes ahead and switches in Absol. A little bit of damage from Stealth Rocks is nice, and I go ahead and go for the Water Spout. Even though I am not at 100% health, I'm still pretty high. I was expecting this to KO. It did not. I was so frustrated, but it is what it is. He goes ahead and goes for the Night Slash here. It gets a crit. I survive, but now my Water Spouts are not going to do anything. I go for the Ice Beam here, predicting he might... Well, he's not going to switch, but it's going to KO in one way or the other. And that is that. Actually, I got my turns wrong. That was the same turn that he used Night Slash. So yeah, I was predicting his Night Slash to do a lot of damage, and that's why I went for the Ice Beam. Glad I did. He's now down. He goes ahead and sends out his Swallow here. And I think, okay, Ice Beam to the face, should be okay. Of course, though, he's faster, obviously. Goes for the Facade, and that is going to take me out, unfortunately. So, bye-bye, Blastoise. Did enough work this battle that I'm pretty happy, but oh well. Anyway, at his range of health, again, Revenge Killing with an Arcanine's Extreme Speed is the way to go. Bye-bye, Swallow. Don't have to worry about that anymore. So the battle is going pretty neck and neck here. I think we might be at 3-3 at this point. Maybe it's 2-3, 2-2. I don't know. I lost count somewhere a few turns ago. He goes ahead and sends out his Donphan. Okay, so I guess he has 3 Pokemon? No, I think this is his... He's down to 2 Pokemon. Anyway, call back my Arcanine. Because, obviously can't do anything to him. Go ahead and send out my Kyoko, my Glaceon, and he goes for the Iron Tail, predicting that. I'm like, whoa, that was an excellent prediction. Was not expecting the Iron Tail. Actually, Stone Edge might have been a better move to have on this guy, but anyway, really surprised by the Iron Tail. I actually take it fairly well. Really impressed by that. I go for the Ice Beam, and while it gets a crit, I did the Calculator. That crit did not matter. Absolutely did not matter. Even if he was running max HP, max special defense, plus special defense nature, would have KO'd regardless. He's now down to practically no HP. This is his last Pokemon, his Feraligatr, and he goes ahead and locks himself into Aqua Tail, and this is good game. My Kyoko is obviously going to be taken out by that hit. Not really surprising, but my last Pokemon is Arcanine, carries the Extreme Speed, and at that range there's no question that it's going to finish off the battle. So anyway, with the time that I have left, great game, MrNieli13. Folks, if you like my narrations, I tried not to say as many times this battle. If you like my narrations, please check out my channel and subscribe. I no longer upload PBR battles to my channel for various reasons. I want to focus on Gen 5 and whatnot, but it's still my voice, and I hope that they're still entertaining, so please, if you like this battle, check out my channel, and of course subscribe to PMP. So long.